It's not too often we get the chance to talk about a newer and upcoming wheel brand, especially in the year 2024. So today, we actually get to do just that. So we're gonna be unboxing and taking a look at Stage wheels. The Stage wheels themselves are actually only a few years old. They are a newer brand. And one of the wheels that they have is actually one of my favorite from their lineup, which is the Monroe. Now the Monroe is a 5-spoke design, and these wheels in general are just like straight up beautiful. Now, Stage wheels themselves, they are all a flow formed wheel. They are flow formed, rotary forged, whichever name you can coin to it. It got all super weird because of trademarks and things like that, but it's all the same process. Essentially, the face of the wheel is cast, and to limit the amount of material used, to keep weight down and stuff like that, they draw the rest of this barrel out with this process, which is essentially forging the barrel. Keeps it lightweight because it's not using a bunch of material, and you actually get a super strong barrel because of it, because you're essentially forging that barrel out. Taking a closer look here, we have the FF engraved, or actually introduced into the design of the wheel down here, standing for that flow formed or flow forged. You do see that these wheels are JWL and VIA certified, which is huge for a lot of motorsport enthusiasts out there, which is good because these wheels themselves are derived specifically for motorsport. Now, what I mean by that is because of the way that they're manufactured, using the flow form technology. You see some other additional features here, like the Bead Knurling, which we can get into in a little bit. And along with that, we have some other features like on the back here with the stamping or engraving with the actual specs of the wheels right here, instead of having to dig around and try to find them on the back of the wheel themselves. Now, one of the things that Stage prides himself on a lot is actually going after original designs, which nowadays in 2024 can be really, really tricky to come up with a original design for a wheel, especially when you're looking at something as iconic as a 5-spoke wheel. It does get pretty tricky, but I think Stage actually did a really good job with the Monroe here, especially with introducing a unique design near the center of the wheel. Now, another feature that I really like on these is that this isn't just like a sticker or paint or anything on here for the name. This is actually engraved into the wheel. So this isn't going anywhere. This isn't gonna wear off. This isn't gonna rub through. It's not gonna fade or anything like that. This is gonna stay really nice on the wheel, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, the center cap itself, it is pretty simple. I would like to see maybe some other options for center caps in the near future. I think that could really spice up the look of this wheel and help, you know, if you want a certain style or certain color of center cap for your car, be a good option for that. So center cap, really the only thing I could see for a bit of improvement there. Now, one of the other features that I talked about earlier on was this bead knurling. So this bead knurling on this wheel actually is for a specific purpose. Because these wheels are derived from motorsport, a lot of the grassroots drifting guys and motorsport guys are, you know, that are running these wheels do really appreciate this feature, especially when you get into like the higher horsepower applications, because for drifting, for instance, if you have a lot of horsepower, you need more grip, surprisingly enough. So what a lot of those guys do is that they tend to run lower PSI in their tires, and when you run lower PSI with a lot of power behind it and you're trying to do slidey boy things, you risk de-beading. So what this bead knurling does is allow you to run a lower pressure without the worry as much of de-beading a tire or getting any sort of tire slippage or anything like that. So that's a really nice feature. So this, of course, is just one of the designs from Stage. We have some other ones to take a look at here today. So the next one we have is going to be the Knight. Now, what you'll see with all these Stage wheels is that they have the same basic principles, just throwing some different styles and different designs at them. So the Knight here, I believe we get an additional spoke from the Monroe, but we still get a lot of what makes these wheels what they are. So let's go take ahead and look at this one here. This one's gonna be another finish that they offer, which is gonna be a satin bronze, which looks absolutely incredible. Again, we still see the name of the wheel engraved into the actual spoke. So like I said, that's not going anywhere. You're not gonna have to worry about that rubbing or fading off or anything like that. Got the bead knurling. We got the specs and everything that you would ever need right on the back side of the wheel to make it really easy if you're swapping out things at the track. And one thing that I didn't point out on the Monroe actually is that you can see all this pocketing and stuff back here that does help cut down on the weight. So again, take a look at our center cap here. I believe this should be the same style and color center. Actually, no, this is a different color center cap. So this actually goes along with the finish of the wheel, which is going to be that bronze color. So that's pretty nice. Doesn't stand out as much, should probably blend in a little nicer, which is neat. And that looks really good. I like the bronze center cap or the paint match center cap with the rest of the wheel. I think it comes together really nicely here. So like I said, this is the Knight. I think this one really looks good on the S chassis cars. And speaking of that too, when we're talking about drifting and things like that, the different suspension setups and angle kits and things that these cars have, Fitment gets a little funky. So Stage, with them being around, you know, the scene for a long time and being involved in every type of motorsport and things like that, they understand that a lot of these guys and gals that are out there modifying these older cars and they're throwing these kits at them, the fitment gets a little funky, especially in the front. So they offer a lot of specific fitment for those types of setup with their offsets and their widths. So you can still get a good looking wheel with good fitment on a car with something like a Wise Fab or any other sort of like angle kit on a car. So you're not gonna have to worry about it looking really goofy up front, which I think is awesome because they take that in consideration. And then the last wheel we have from Stage that we're gonna take a look at today is their Belmont. Now the Belmont is a bit of a different design. I think this one looks really good on some bigger cars or maybe some older cars, just because the style does date back a little bit. And I believe we are gonna get a different finish on this one as well. So let's go ahead and get this out here. So here we have these Stage wheels Belmont in a chrome black finish. Now those chrome finishes, obviously these pop like absolutely crazy. You get these things in the sunlight and it goes nuts. This is a very, very unique finish that I think can look good on specific colors and colorways of vehicles. And man, this thing is really bright with the light hitting it here, but this looks really good. Now again, personally, not my favorite design of wheel when it comes to like the cars and stuff that I drive, but I do believe that these do fit a specific style of vehicle and a specific year range of vehicle and can look really good. But for instance, for the stuff that I like, I would probably go with something more of like the Monroe or the Knight, but I do believe that these have their place. Now with the thin spoke design and stuff here, obviously we're not gonna get any sort of engraving on the spokes, so we lose that a little bit. But let's take a look at the center cap here, see how we're doing with that. And it looks like we're going back to that chrome style center cap. So it doesn't look like it's matched to the finish on this. It looks like it's just the regular chrome one that we saw on the white Monroe here, but honestly doesn't look really that out of place. Once you get it in there, it does blend in pretty well. Like I said, I think some options for center caps would go a long way, and I'd like to see that. So that is a good look at the Stage wheels lineup right now. We have the Monroe, we have the Knight, and we have the Belmont. I think that these are a great option when it comes to aftermarket wheels, especially if you're looking to get into some sort of motorsport, whether it be time attack, autocross, drifting, especially with the sizes that they offer, anything motorsport, or if you do want something good and lightweight for your daily driver, they are looking to get into that as well, as they are expanding their sizes coming up pretty soon here. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly quality wheel that is new to the market, check out Stage wheels. You can actually check them out over at Martini Works. We'll have them on there. And if you're looking for something specific, hit us up at martiniworks.com.